Hi, Michael. How are you? Are you here for the AA meeting and where are you calling from today? How long are you sober? Just clearing the room from Zoom bombers.
Oh, yeah, for AA, yeah.
Yeah, and where are you calling from and how long have you been sober?
Arizona,
Okay,
4 months.
4 months, Arizona. Okay,
Yes, sir.
great. Welcome aboard. Ah, I'm glad you made it today, Ron.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad I did too.
Well, yeah, we had people. There's sometimes people show up late, not you guys. Well, Lisa does sometimes, but not today. Lisa's here way on time, and it is crazy when that happens. I think it is. People don't know what to do.
Okay, now you want me to change names, Lisa, if you're gonna post?
Either way, whatever you're comfortable with, I could do either.
Makes no difference to me.
Okay, I'll start posting. I know you're quicker draw at posting.
We'll practice up.
Well, okay. Yeah, and then we had this guy. He was in the truck yesterday. He knew a lot about AA, so he stayed for like half an hour afterwards, and we were talking about things that I actually already know about, but he was pointing out pages 43 and more about alcoholism, and there is the solution. And um, and then what's that guy's name? Kelly goes, "Well, gee, maybe you could come in, you could take over the meeting." And he starts laughing at Kelly, and Jeff says, uh, he said, "Kelly, you've got me and you've got Jan." And the guy goes, "Yeah." He said, "Look, I'm really busy. I have a home group." And I said, "I'll come and visit every now and then." But that is a classic newcomer move right there. Where you think it's going to be better or the grass greener on the other side of the track. If I try a different bar, I never did try different bars. So I guess you guys probably heard about our little firebomb attack here in Boulder yesterday.
No.
Oh,
I did.
yeah. So the whole city is upside down. Every news organ, here we go again. Every news organization in the world is here.
It happened, was it at the mall that you talk about?
Yeah, the Pearl Street Mall, which is a really favorite place for people to get. It's the mall of malls, with the one where every other city tried to model themselves after ours. Most of them screwed up, but some are pretty good. Let's see here. Oh, Devin, hey, how are you, man? You're back with us, huh?
Hey, how are you? Good.
Good. And let's see, how long are you sober now, and what step are you on? And where are you calling from?
14 days and step 6.
Oh, good. And where are you calling from?
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Okay, good. Oh, that's a black lab, right?
Yes, that's actually my mom's dog.
Oh, okay. So we have a girl that comes here sometimes, and let's see, she has a male black lab, which is the dog is so big it knocks her off the couch, which I think is extremely funny.
Yeah, that's funny. He was big. He was
Picture.
like 120 pounds.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Today I took my dog to a dog park and we played with a Great Dane doodle. This
Oh,
thing was
wow.
a horse and it rode in on a guy that had a Harley and a sidecar. So he was just sitting in the sidecar, but a
With goggles,
beautiful,
I
huge dog. His
you have
name was
goggles on.
Leo. He
Did he
didn't
have?
have goggles, but he had a big old harness around him.
Oh my God.
It was really cute. I think I have the picture. I'll put it in our chat.
No, just put it in your background.
I can never do that right. I have to do it on my phone.
Oh, okay.
They're breeding every dog with doodles.
Everything, right. Mine's
Yeah.
a Newfie Bernie doodle. It was totally a big oops dog, but she's so cute.
Yeah, I have a Shih Tzu poodle and then a pug mix. And the Shih Tzu poodle
Oh,
does not shed. It's great.
exactly. That's what I love about it.
Missy's here. Rebecca's here. Jocelyn. Jocelyn's here. Jocelyn's a familiar name. I wonder if she's been here before. There you go, make you a co-host. Hey, Jocelyn, how are you? Are you here for AA and where are you calling from? How long have you been coming?
Your names have never been found.
Yo,
Yes, hello.
yes, hello.
Okay, yes. Sorry, I'm Jocelyn. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
It's my first time being in this Zoom meeting.
Okay. And how long are you sober?
Um, it hasn't been like years or anything, but just been a couple of days so far.
Couple days. Okay, good. Perfect. That's you're in the right meeting. This is the meeting for you. I see Rebecca's back at the beach. There we go. Ah, let's see here. Omaha. Um, Jessa, hi, how are you? And where are you calling
I'm
from?
good. How are you?
Where are
I'm
you calling from?
calling
How
from
long are you
Lincoln,
so-
Lincoln, Nebraska.
No way.
Yes,
Way.
way. And
And
also,
how long
I
are
have
you?
to.
Blah,
Well,
blah,
this is
blah,
my fifth day,
blah,
but I have to.
blah.
I'm starting a new cleaning account at 5:30 tonight, so I'm trying to stay on as long as I can tonight.
Well, let me ask you a couple questions.
Okay.
You're on day 5, and what step do we have you on?
I just did step 3 yesterday with you guys.
Okay, so somebody took you through step 3.
Yes.
Who was that?
I believe Ron.
Ron.
What were we in step 3? Were we in step 3?
And Sarah, was it Ron and Sarah? Shake your head, Ron. Yeah, okay. They
Might have
said
been the day before yesterday. I was with Juan yesterday. Gave him
Oh,
some instructions.
well, okay. Oh, so let me ask you, hey, so Jessa, so did you feel the Lord come into your body yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was yesterday. I don't know who I was with, but I definitely did the 3rd step prayer. We went
Oh
over
yeah,
and
beautiful, beautiful. That's what we want to see. All right, glad you're here.
thanks.
Yeah. Vacation pants. iPhone. Hi, iPhone. How are you? And are you here for AA? Where are you calling from? How long have you been sober? Jan to iPhone. Ooh, okay. Here's May. Hey, May, change your name. Hannah Foot. Hi, Hannah. How are you? Where are you calling from? How long are you sober?
Hello.
Jan to Hannah. Hello,
I heard you say my name.
Hannah.
Yeah, it looks like I can't use my video right now because it's disabled by the host.
Yeah, we have everything disabled until we clear out all the Zoom bombers, so we'll turn it on later. But so
Oh,
your
okay.
first name is Hannah, right? And then
Yes.
where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Washington State.
Oh yeah, and how long are you sober?
I'm actually here for a few different reasons.
Yes.
I am currently seeking licensure as a clinical mental health counselor, and part of my education
All right,
is,
so you're a student.
yes.
Okay, so we'll just put that down.
Okay.
Hannah, capital S, capital student, all caps. Glad you're here. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
And you can put down Washington, that's fine. And capitalize the word student, please. Stands out. There you go. Perfect. Ashley, good, she changed her name. Perfect. George. Let's see. Is this the George Hicks who's a Mormon?
No, this is your Black Amish friend from Lancaster. I was at my mom's the last 2 days in Philadelphia, and she didn't know I had a slip, so I was helping her with getting ready for a cookout and stuff. But I'm back here. Started my
Where are
first.
you calling from, and how long are you sober, and what step are you on now?
Calling from Lancaster. Location
Mhm.
hasn't changed. And you guys had me on the fourth step. I did third step with Ron, and then last time I came, I did fourth step with the gentleman from New York. I forgot his name. And I'm on day 18.
Okay, perfect. Glad you're here. Mormon,
Good to be back.
they're all the same to me. Okay. The Mormons believe in rocks. Rock of my salvation. Shauna. Shauna, no, 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 no. Shauna, no, no. Hey, Shauna, how are you? And where are you calling from? How long are you sober?
I'm calling from Johnson City and I've been sober 48 days, I believe.
48, Johnson City, where's that? Is that in Germany?
No, Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee.
Yes,
Wow.
sir.
Oh, don't call me sir. Just call
Oh,
me Jan. Just call me Jan or dog.
yes, ma'am.
All right, dog. Okay, perfect. Jeff's here. Terrence. Hello, Terrence. How are you? I'll guess you're in San Francisco. You're at a Giants game. It's just I'm getting a psychic message. Is either maybe he's not going to answer me. It's got to be Terry, San Francisco, with 39 years. Is that correcto mundo? Sure. Okay, we'll see in a minute. Melissa, hi Melissa, how are you? Where are you calling from, and how long have you been sober?
I'm good, and the 29th was my sober date of last month.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
And how long have you been sober?
Let's
Oh,
see.
I'm sorry. And what city are you calling from?
Oneida, New York.
Oneida. Isn't it pronounced Oniata?
Oh, Oneida.
Oh, okay.
Oneida is another place in New York.
Okay, so you're in New York State, and did you get it, Lisa? How long she's been sober? Never talk to me.
It was 4 days.
Did you say you're sober there?
She said one
Melissa?
month, didn't she?
No, 4 days.
Oh,
4 days.
29th of May.
Beautiful. Nicole, hi Nicole, how are you? Are you here for AA, and where are you calling from today?
Oh yeah, hi guys. So I have been sober for about 6 weeks, I would say. I'm in an IOP right now. I've only been to 3 AA meetings. So I am definitely a newcomer.
Well, let's see, where are you calling from?
I'm in Boulder.
Oh, you're in Boulder. Okay,
Yes.
and you have how many days sober?
I guess we're going on about 35 with one relapse, but
35 days, and then also put in there IOP.
IOP.
Yeah, IOP for Lisa. Put that in there, IOP. On Nicole, whoever changed her name. Fix that. iPhone, how are you? And where are you calling from? How long you been sober? Da, 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 da. Jan to iPhone. Oh, we have two iPhones. There's iPhone 2 and there's iPhone.
Hi, my name is Shauna. Did you ask me how long I've been sober? I'm calling from Ohio. And I'm not calling, I'm sorry. I'm like getting off work. I was supposed to have today off. I actually have over 13 months sober. So
Okay. Ohio, 13 months. What's your
yeah,
first name?
Shauna,
Shauna, S-H-A-U.
WNA,
S-H-A.
WNA.
Okay. Shauna from Ohio. Okay, did you get that? Please.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. All right. Glad you're here. And let Jim B. Hey, Jim B, how are you? And where are you
Good.
calling from? How long are you
Yeah, I'm
sober?
calling from Hubert, North Carolina.
Hubert. And how long are you sober?
Today's day 5.
Day 5, 5 days in Hubert, North Carolina. Here's Shannon J. Shannon, hi, how are you? Where are you calling from? How long are you sober, please?
An alcoholic, sober 4 months, and we left at step 4 from New York City.
Okay. There you go. Did you get that, Rebecca? Good, perfect. All right, keep moving along. I think we have everything here. So, if you would like to post up all the reading, please, who's ever doing that? And hey, Ron, you want to read everything from your computer today? And you
Sure.
guys, I'm going to turn on your, you can start your video now. We just have to watch out for the Zoom bombers. Over to Ron. He's going to explain how this meeting works.
Hello, my name is Ron. I'm an alcoholic. Welcome to Newcomer Slipper Step Workshop. If you are new to AA or coming back, this is the meeting for you. This group is exactly what the name says, a workshop. We read 6 AA books, work the steps, sponsor you, and give reading and writing assignments. We will teach you an AA program. We move right along here and people get well here. Newcomer Slipper Step Workshop is a step workshop. Unlike most AA meetings, it is not a speakers meeting nor a discussion meeting. It's more like AA class, AA 101, AA University. You want to have the attitude of learning and do the assigned reading and writing on the steps. We will take you through the steps and the AA books in short order. If you are looking for guidance and direction in an AA program, this is the meeting for you. Newcomer Slipper Step Workshop is a very unique meeting since we use the same principles AA used between 1932 and 1939. Everybody works in the group and moves through the 12 steps to live our lives free from alcohol and learn a new way of living. And we're glad you could make it. Here's the newcomers packet for those new to AA, and it has pamphlets and information about Alcoholics Anonymous. That link will be posted in chat. Security for newcomers Slipper Step Workshop. We have cameras and chat turned off. You can chat only with the co-host or greeters. We do all the above for safety reasons. Zoom bombers try to get in and this eliminates them. We don't allow group sharing in chat or exchange of phone numbers. This is an AA class, step class, and since everyone is new here, we want to protect you. If you need meeting confirmation, the email will be posted in chat. It's stepworkshop1@gmail.com. And that's good for class, work, probation, court, etc. Announcements. Seventh tradition contributions can be made in Venmo to at Jann Scott and Cash App Jack Fox 111999, or in PayPal's Good for International to janscottlive@gmail.com 720-646-6131. Those will be posted in chat. These contributions go to pay for Zoom, Boulder 1AA, Boulder County AA, OIO AA Intergroup, and Father Terry's work. We offer free books to those in need, and we spend about $350 every month. Suggested donations are $1 to $2 per meeting, or monthly donations for about the price of the 12-pack of Bud, which is $18.99. This group meets daily with the following formats. Monday, we read the 12 and 12, and it's a step study. Tuesday, we read from the Big Book. Wednesday, we read from As Bill Sees It, and it's Sunglass Wednesday. Thursday, we use Came to Believe, and it's Dog Thursday. Friday is Cat Friday, and the host selects the topic. Saturday, we read from Living Sober, and Sunday from Daily Reflections. This is the Alcoholics Anonymous preamble. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of people who share their experience, strength, and hope with each other that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organization, or institution. Does not wish to engage in any controversy. Neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and to help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. Please join me in the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. If you are new to this meeting, please come for 5 days and see how you like it, and then we'll put you to work. This meeting is recorded with audio only, and this is for our podcast on the YouTube channel. No video pictures or names are shown. No one will know that you are here. Our podcast is the YouTube channel, Newcomers Slipper Step Workshop AA meeting, and that link is posted in chat as well. And finally, everyone, please introduce yourself as an alcoholic when speaking, and thank you for being here. And now, Jan, back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Ron, for reading. Everybody, you can turn your video on now if you want to. And today is Monday, right? And we read from 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. And where did we leave off last week? I'll ask Jeff and I'll ask.
Yes, Jeff, alcoholic, South Florida. We're going to start on step 5 as today 6/2/25, which is found on page 55 in the big book of, oh, should be in the 12 and 12 book.
Now, did we finish? Hey, Ron, did we finish step 4 last week?
It says we started 4/2/6 here. I don't
So
know.
wait, just a sec. Let me ask Ron.
I was absent last Monday.
Were you here, Rebecca? Because I know we split step 4 into 2 parts, didn't we? Who remembers? Did we actually finish the whole thing last week, Jeff? Lisa, do you remember? No? May, how about you?
I wasn't here last week.
What? You okay. Who else was here? Okay, fine. I lost my book, so I have no idea where.
Okay.
Somebody took my book. They came in the middle. It was a thief in the night. Seriously? No. I have no idea what happened to it. Okay. Let's get started on. So would you put a link up there for this reading part? Tradition. Okay, now did you? Okay.
No, let me get a better link. I have to get a better link.
Right, you right to the
PDF.
yes, that's right. Right to the page. Step 5 in the page. And everybody, you could just search 12 steps, 12 traditions, and then you click on step 5, and it pops right up. Hey, Candy, you're here for AA, right? Where are you calling from today, and how long you been sober? What step are you on now?
Yeah, I started the first part of step 1 yesterday.
Okay. So now you're on the second half of step 2. Rebecca, if you could fix that. And how many days sober are you, and where are you calling from?
10 days from Ohio.
10 days from Ohio. Glad you're here. Welcome aboard. And we got everybody else in here. I guess we do. All right. So who wants to read? Who has the book, the page, and I think is it right there? Let me look
Jeff,
and see.
alcoholic, if you want me to start.
Hang on for 1 second.
Sure.
Wait. Oh no. So we need just 1 second, please. Okay, step 5. Okay, here. I'm going to make this easier for everybody. 1 sec, Jeff. So here is the link to step 5. Actually, there it is. Step 5. Okay, go ahead, Jeff. Raise your hand if you want to read too, please. Just everybody read a page.
Okay, Jeff, alcoholic, South Florida, page 55 of the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions book. Step 5 reads, We admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. All of AA's 12 steps ask us to go contrary to our natural desires. They all deflate our egos. When it comes to ego deflation, few steps are harder to take than 5, but scarcely any step is more necessary to long-time sobriety and peace of mind than this one. AA experience has taught us that we cannot live alone with our pressing problems and the character defects which cause or aggravate them. If we have swept the searchlight of step 4 back and forth over our careers, and it has revealed in stark relief those experiences we'd rather not remember, if we have come to know how wrong thinking and action have hurt us and others, then the need to quit living by ourselves with these tormenting ghosts of yesterday gets more urgent than ever. We have to talk to somebody about them. So intense, though, is our fear and reluctance to do this that many AAs at first try to bypass step 5. We search for an easier way, which usually consists of, the general and fairly painless admission that when we were drinking, we were sometimes bad actors. Then, for good measure, we add a couple of dramatic descriptions of that part of our drinking behavior, which our friends probably already know about anyhow. Thank you for letting me read that.
Go ahead, May, you're up.
All right, May alcoholic, but of the things which really bother and burn us, we say nothing. Certain distressing or humiliating memories we tell ourselves ought not to be shared with anyone. These will remain our secret. Not a soul must ever know. We hope they'll go away to the grave with us. Yet if AA's experience means anything at all, this is not only unwise, but it is actually perilous resolve. Few muddled attitudes have caused us more trouble than holding back on step 5. Some people are unable to stay sober at all. Others will relapse periodically until they really clean house. Even AA old-timers sober for years often pay dearly for skipping this step. They will tell how they tried to carry the load alone, and how much they suffered of irritability, anxiety, remorse, and depression, and how unconsciously seeking relief, they would sometimes accuse even their best friends of the very character defects that they themselves were trying to conceal. They always discovered that relief never came by confessing the sins of other people. Everybody had to confess his own. The practice of admitting one's defects to another person, of course, very ancient. It has been validated in every century, and it characterizes the lives of all spiritually centered and truly religious people. But today, religion is by no means the sole advocate of this saving principle. Psychiatrists and psychologists point out the deep need every human being has for practical insight and knowledge of his own personality flaws, and for a discussion of them with an understanding and trustworthy person. So far as alcoholics are concerned, AA would go even further. Most of us would declare that without a fearless admission of our defects to another human being, we could not stay sober. Pass.
Go ahead, Rebecca. Raise your hand to read, guys. This hand thing right here, see it? Yep.
Rebecca alcoholic. It seems plain that the grace of God will not enter to expel our destructive obsessions until we are willing to try this. What are we likely to receive from step 5? For one thing, we shall get rid of that terrible sense of isolation we've always had. Almost without exception, alcoholics are tortured by loneliness. Even before our drinking got bad and people began to cut us off, nearly all of us suffered the feeling that we didn't quite belong. Either we were shy and dared not draw near others, or we were apt to be noisy good fellows craving attention and companionship, but never getting it, at least to our way of thinking. There was always that mysterious barrier we could neither surmount nor understand. It was as if we were actors on a stage, suddenly realizing that we did not know a single line of our parts. That's one reason we loved alcohol too well. It did let us act extemporaneously, but even Bacchus boomeranged on us. We were finally struck down and left in terrified loneliness. When we reached AA, and for the first time in our lives stood among people who seemed to understand. The sense of belonging was tremendously exciting. We thought the isolation problem had been solved, but we soon discovered that while we weren't alone anymore in a social sense, we were still suffered many of the old pangs of anxious apartness. Until we had talked with complete candor of our conflicts and had listened to someone else do the same thing, we still didn't belong. Step 5 was the answer. It was the beginning of a true kinship with man and God.
Perfect. Go ahead there, Shannon, you're up. This final step.
Shannon, alcoholic. This vital step was also the means by which we began to get the feeling that we could be forgiven, no matter what we had thought or done. Often it was while working on this step with our sponsors or spiritual advisors that we first felt truly able to forgive others, no matter how deeply we felt they had wronged us. Our moral inventory had persuaded us that all round forgiveness was desirable, but it was only when we resolutely tackled step 5 that we inwardly knew we'd be able to receive forgiveness and give it too. Another great dividend we may expect from confiding our defects to another human being is humility, a word often misunderstood. To those who have made progress in AA, it amounts to a clear recognition of what and who we really are, followed by a sincere attempt to become what we could be. Therefore, our first practical move toward humility must consist of recognizing our deficiencies. No defect can be corrected unless we clearly see what it is, but we shall have to do more than see. The objective look at ourselves we achieved in step 4 was, after all, only a look. All of us saw, for example, that we lacked honesty and tolerance, that we were beset at times by attacks of self-pity or delusions of personal grandeur. But while this was a humiliating experience, it didn't necessarily mean that we had yet acquired much actual humility. Though now recognized, our defects were still there. Something had to be done about them, and we soon found that we could not wish nor will them away by ourselves. Pass.
Hey, Lisa, you're up. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, Lisa, alcoholic. More realism and therefore more honesty about ourselves are the great gains we make under the influence of step 5. As we took inventory, we began to suspect how much trouble self-delusion had begun causing us. This had brought us disturbing reflection. If all our lives we had more or less fooled ourselves, how could we now be so sure that we weren't still self-deceived? How could we be certain that we had made a true catalog of our defects and had really admitted them, even to ourselves? Because we were still bothered by fear, self-pity, and hurt feelings, it was probable we couldn't appraise ourselves fairly at all. Too much guilt and remorse might cause us to dramatize and exaggerate our shortcomings, or anger and hurt pride might be the smokescreen under which we were hiding some of our defects while we blamed others for them. Possibly, too, we were still handicapped by many liabilities, great and small, we never knew we had. Hence, it was almost evident that a solitary self-appraisal and the admission of our defects based upon that alone wouldn't be nearly enough. We'd have to have outside help if we were surely to know and admit the truth about ourselves. The help of God and another human being. Only by discussing ourselves, holding back nothing, only by being willing to take advice and accept direction, could we set foot on the road to straight thinking, solid honesty, and genuine humility. Yet many of us still hung back. We said, why can't God, as we understand him, tell us where we are astray? If the Creator gave us lives in the first place, then he must know in every detail where we have since gone wrong. Why don't we make our admissions to him directly? Why do we need to bring anyone else into this?
Okay, go ahead, Ron.
I'm Ron, I'm an alcoholic. At this stage, the difficulties of trying to deal rightly with God by ourselves are twofold. Though we may at first be startled to realize that God knows all about us, we are apt to get used to that quite quickly. Somehow being alone with God doesn't seem as embarrassing as facing up to another person until we actually sit down and talk aloud about what we have so long hidden. Our willingness to clean house is still largely theoretical. When we are honest with another person, it confirms that we have been honest with ourselves and with God. The second difficulty is this: what comes to us alone may be garbled by our own rationalization and wishful thinking. The benefit of talking to another person is that we can get his direct comment and counsel on our situation, and there can be no doubt in our minds what that advice is. Going it alone in spiritual matters is dangerous. How many times have we heard well-intentioned people claim the guidance of God when it was all too plain that they were sorely mistaken? Lacking both practice and humility, they had deluded themselves and were able to justify the most ornate nonsense on the ground that it was what God had told them. It is worth noting that people of very high spiritual development almost always insist on checking with friends or spiritual advisors the guidance they feel they have received from God. Surely then, a novice ought not lay himself open to the chance of making foolish, perhaps tragic blunders in this fashion. While the comment or advice of others may be by no means infallible, it is likely to be far more specific than any direct guidance we may receive while we are still so inexperienced in establishing contact with a power greater than ourselves. And I'll pass.
Okay, who wants to read the next one? Just raise your hand. We're waiting. You just raise your hand if you want to read. Our next problem will be to discover.
Hannah's raising her hand.
What's that?
Hannah
Oh,
is.
there you go. Hey, okay, Hannah, hi. You're up.
Bottom of page 60.
Our next problem, right?
Are we on page 61?
60.
The last sentence of
Last,
60.
yeah, page 61 is our next
Our next problem.
That's correct.
There you go.
Our next problem will be to discover the person in whom we are to confide. Here we ought to take much care, remembering that prudence is a virtue which carries a high rating. Perhaps we shall need to share with this person facts about ourselves which no others ought to know. We shall want to speak with someone who is experienced, who not only has stayed dry, but has been able to surmount other serious difficulties. Difficulties, perhaps, like our own. This person may turn out to be one's sponsor, but not necessarily so. If you have developed a high confidence in him and his temperament and problems are close to your own, then such a choice will be good. Besides, your sponsor already has the advantage of knowing something about your case. Shall I keep going?
Yeah, to read the whole page.
Okay. Perhaps, though, your relation to him is such that you would care to reveal only a part of your story. If this is the situation, by all means do so, for you ought to make a beginning as soon as you can. It may turn out, however, that you'll choose someone else for the more difficult and deeper revelations. This individual may be entirely outside of AA, For example, your clergyman or your doctor. For some of us, a complete stranger may prove to be the best bet. The real tests of the situation are your own willingness to confide and your full confidence in the one with whom you share your first accurate self-survey. Even when you've found the person, it frequently takes great resolution to approach him or her. No one ought to say the AA program requires no willpower. Here is one place you may require all you've got. Happily, though, the chances are that you will be in for a pleasant surprise. When your mission is carefully explained and it is seen by the recipient of your confidence how helpful he can really be, the conversation will start easily and will soon become eager.
Okay, good. Thank you. Jann Alcoholic, before long, your listener may well tell a story or two about himself, which will place you even more at ease, provided you hold back nothing. Your sense of relief will mount from minute to minute. The dammed up emotions of years break out of their confinement and miraculously vanish as soon as they are exposed. As the pain subsides, the healing tranquility takes its place. And when humility and serenity are so combined, something else of great moment is apt to occur. Many in AA, once agnostic or atheistic, tell us that it is during this stage of the fifth step that he or she first actually felt the presence of God. And even though those of us who had faith already often become conscious of God as they never were before. This feeling of being at one with God and man, this emerging from the isolation through the open and honest sharing of our terrible burden of guilt, brings us to a resting place where many prepare ourselves for the following steps forward, a full and meaningful sobriety. All right. So, hey, anyways, I'm Jann Alcoholic. This is kind of interesting because this is quite a description of the fifth step. And I think a lot of times we do fifth steps, and I often wonder how much is God, especially if you're hearing somebody's fifth step, is God present in it? Because it does say, admitted to ourselves, to God, to another human being, the exact natures of our wrong. And then the idea is that, and they lay it out in here that God does the healing. The question is, who is God and how much healing does he do? And in this group, we take people right to God in the third step on page 63. We were talking about that yesterday, where it says we felt a new power flow in. And it talks about how we start to have God work in our lives. And early days of AA, they would have you go into a room similar to our sober up room and do steps 1, 2, and 3 before you even went to a meeting. I believe that, so they wanted you to have a spiritual experience right then. Of course, that doesn't happen so much in AA anymore. But following that thought, we pretty much hand deliver the idea of God, the healing of the spirit, right directly to us. It's pretty amazing. Kind of stay with that. So, hey, Terry, I was going to ask you a question. So you've done a lot of fifth steps. What did you think about what we just read today? This is a different Terry, huh? What do you know? How are you? I'm Terrence from San Francisco with 39 years, unless you transformed into another person. I'll ask you anyways, how are you doing? This is the miracle. How did you like the reading today, Terrence? Are you with us? No? Yes. 38 years sober, huh? Jeff, how about you? You're a godly person. You're 39 years. You could, what did you think
Hey,
of
Jeff
today's reading?
Alcoholic. South Florida. So what was the question, Jan? You cut out.
Yeah, the fifth step. What did you think about this reading today?
Oh, I thought this was great because these things are the corners that the stuff we've hidden in the corner and things that we feel we can't let go and don't take. Let's talk about our defects, not somebody else's. And what was blocking us from God, from the higher power, from, as they say, the sunlight of the spirit in Alcoholics Anonymous? What was doing it? The things that we had done, and we had done those things because we have character defects. We have problems that we have to address, and we do address them here in the steps, and we live a life free of drinking. The drinking was a lot it was because of our defects or whatever you call it. Yeah.
Did you see where they talk about having God present in the fifth step? Did you see that in there, Rebecca?
When I did the fifth step, I didn't feel the presence of God until the bottom of 75, returning home. We find a place where we can be quiet for an hour. That's when I really let God in.
When you hear fifth steps of other people, do you include God in the fifth step? Do you announce that we're going to listen to it, and this is also, see, that's what we're supposed to do is, God and another human being. What's the fifth step say? Admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being, the exact nature of our wrongs. So the big part of this is God healing us. When you do fifth steps, do you bring God into it?
Every single time. Yeah. I honestly, personally don't even believe that it can be effective without God.
So oftentimes what we do when we hear a fifth step is we'll open with the serenity prayer, close with the serenity prayer, and say to the person who is sharing their fourth step with us that there's you, me, and whoever else is in the room, and we're going to bring God into the room to hear this fifth step. So that is so important. Do you get that part, Lisa? We're having a class on the fifth step. So when you hear, do you understand now, when you hear somebody's fifth step, they actually read to you what they wrote in their fourth step?
Correct. You really have to get the first steps as your foundation, and step 5 actually brings it all together and brings in higher power of God. Sure.
So one of the things, do you say to the person, okay, I'm going to hear your fifth step. God is in the room and you are in the room.
Something like that, but I can
Okay.
refine it, I'm sure.
Yeah, we have to bring God into the room. Who is God? That's the big question. God is the healer. Who? God is well, what do you mean the healer? What are we talking? Yeah, this is not an atheistic program. We use the power of the Spirit to heal us. Missy, you and God in the fifth step. How about it?
Missy, alcoholic. Thank you for your service, Jan. No, I hadn't been including God when I was listening to other people's fifth steps, so I definitely will now.
Okay, good.
Personally, though, yes, when I did mine, I full on had a presence of the higher power in me.
Who is the higher power? Who is God? And what is this thing we're talking about? It lays it out in step 3. We felt a new power flow in. It's that power that's flowing in. Ron, how about you when you're hearing a fifth step? Do you include God?
Ron, I'm an alcoholic. Yes, I certainly will include God in every step that I try to listen to. I haven't formally announced that, but I too, like Missy, will probably begin with a prayer and let the person know that.
And then we need to let the person know that we invite God into the fifth step so that it may sound a little creepy, but if you have a relationship with God, it's not. So God is the healer. We invite him into, or her, into the room to hear your fifth step. And it is through this sharing to me and you and your admittance, and God is The idea is God is going to heal you up in this 5th step process. That's why this is a spiritual program and not psychotherapy. How about you, Ashley?
Yes, God's a big part every day for my life. Yeah. And
Beautiful.
including the program.
Rosa, turn your camera on. When you are hearing a 5th step, do you include God?
Similar to Lisa, I don't know that I fully had the conversation of inviting him in, but certainly from now on, yes, absolutely.
You'll notice when I hear a 5th step, and I'll do some more with you guys, I always say, well, we also invite God into the room. So it's when there's one alcoholic, 2 alcoholics present, we start talking about God. God then becomes part of the room, part of the process, and he is the healing part for us. Yeah, that's the big part. So this is not, says in the AA Big Book that no human power could have relieved our alcoholism. And that's kind of what they're talking about here. Let's see, cool. So how are we doing now? Pretty exciting, huh? Oh, let's keep going. Let's stay on this. All right, so let's see, Shannon, New York City. Oh, Stacy, how are you? So, oops, are you driving or are you here? So, how about you and God and listening, hearing people's 5th steps?
For me, Stacy Alcoholic, for me, I feel like it's kind of goes hand in hand and it just naturally comes out to talk about the presence of like a greater power.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it comes out for sure. And then, working the program and just listening to people sharing your own experience too was probably the first time I felt the presence of God. So,
Okay, so everybody here, whenever you hear a 5th step, always write it down. Always invite God to be in the room when we hear the 5th step, because it's not us and it's not just talking about it. This isn't therapy. That's going to heal this, everything that they talked about in here. I mean, this is a pretty dramatic reading. If you really look at what we read, the healing comes from the higher power. And the big question that we start to search is, who is the higher power? Who is God? What were they talking about? What was happening with these people? Remember that Alcoholics Anonymous is the first and only treatment program for alcoholism in the history of humankind that actually worked. Before AA, nobody got sober long term. Now, there were some people who got sober in the church that had dramatic sort of kind of a reclaiming or rebirth that took place. Alcoholics Anonymous really started to get moving in the early 1930s. At the same time, the charismatic movement and the AA and the evangelical movement and the healing movement got going. It was with a lady in New York State who had cancer, and she heard of a preacher in California and went there for this healing because she was dying, and she gets miraculously healed. And that was the birth of charismatic movement in the United States. At the same time, Bill Wilson and Dr. Bob had heard about this too. And so they started using prayer, the 3rd step, and 5th step for this kind of healing of, excuse me, alcoholism. And they stopped drinking forever. So, also in the 1930s, you had the anarchist movement, away from big controlling governments. So that's why early on they referred to AA as a working anarchy. Anarchy as a political movement didn't last in the United States. It became somewhat controversial, but inside of AA, it kind of did work, and still does to this day. So anyways, I think we're going to end with that. And you guys could kind of think about this. This higher power, God, this force, healing you. They had an 80% to 100% success rate. And as long as people do this 12-step process in AA and include God in it, there seems to be an 80 to 100% success rate in Alcoholics Anonymous. It's when people turn AA meetings into group therapy that AA doesn't work, and people go back to drinking because they don't get the critical shift, the critical change. And of course, you need to come to meetings pretty regularly. The what is it called? Right now, AA, a lot of AA meetings you go to, they're all about group therapy and they're all about chit-chatting. But what is Alcoholics Anonymous? Alcoholics Anonymous is a 12-step process that teaches you how to live your life without drinking. So we go through these 12 steps. So here we recommend you come to 5 of these meetings in a row, and then we'll give you assignments on reading and writing assignments through the 12-step process. So how did AA go from 80 to 100% success in the 1930s to 10% in 2025? Because the people that run meetings don't do the 12-step process and they end up dying. And that's that simple. Here, so we take the whole thing, hook, line, and sinker. And the question is, who is God? Well, in step 3, those of you who've done step 3, you start to feel them start to flow inside of you. It's like, okay, what is this? What is healing me up? It's pretty miraculous. Atheists hate this program. You know, they're like, oh, what is this mumbo jumbo? Until you do it. And then, of course, if you're dying, it helps to do it. All right, enough. So, hey, Jeff, would you care to read the promises? Or somebody can read the promises.
Jeff, Alcoholics, South Florida. The promise is found on page 83 in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, very bottom of the page. Again, Jeff, Alcoholic, South Florida, into action. If we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed about how, before we're halfway through. We're going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past, nor wish to shut the door on it. We will comprehend the word serenity, and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Fear of people and of economic insecurity will leave us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises? We think not. They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them. Thank you for letting me read.
All right. Here comes the serenity prayer. It goes like this. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So tomorrow, we read from the big book. If you're new here, you think you might like this, come for 5 days, see how you do.